Streamlabs now. Just had a bit of a technical issue. Working now. With the Lunderground 1,000, less than 1,000 subs mobile get around. So if anyone wants to stream,
mobile get around. Does that mean your mobile get around? Love it. Good stuff.
Merry go round.
Good stuff. More of this, please. If more people can go live, share their content, show people what's going on out on the street, show people what people really think of what's going on. There's a ton of people here that have had
and actually the weather's calmed down, hasn't it now?
Yeah, they've had a ton of conversations, open-minded conversations. No one is really buying into what the narrative is being taught. That's the general consensus out here today. Everyone I've spoken to.
Can I ask you, what are you using? Because for people who are not going to tell the subscribers, what are you using right now?
Streamlabs.
Streamlabs.
So basically, Streamlabs is connecting to the YouTube server, but obviously it's going to say to the YouTube server, I'm actually connecting from a desktop PC.
Okay.
So obviously, knowing a bit about computer science myself, so then,
Brilliant.
so like you may have noticed, like when you go on certain websites, it tells you what web browser you're using.
Yes.
Because obviously, if you know what HTTP is, like in computing, you got it's called the HTTP. It's like the protocol that web browsers use. So then, all Streamlabs is doing is telling the YouTube server I'm a desktop PC, basically.
Yeah, that's great. So listen, I want to say thank you so much for letting me on your stream and let me on your show. Thank you so much. That's a great thing to have.
Well, this is just all spontaneous, But obviously, hopefully by the time this will be growing in 3 months' time, and obviously I'll be planning a time, and there'll be 10 in the waiting.
The more
whatever
information that comes out,
I'll have a waiting room. Obviously, there'll be people in there.
Better it comes to you non-scripted than scripted, isn't that
Yeah.
right? So we just talk off the top of the dome, just talking through.
Well, I suppose originally I was going to be getting here about 2 or half 1, 2 o'clock, and I was be streaming then. But actually we've been talking for quite a long time anyway.
Oh, man, we've been here for
I
hours.
think 3 hours has gone. I've been here for 3 hours.
Thank you so much, brother.
Yeah.
It's amazing, man.
It's nearly 6 o'clock.
I better go. He's cut it out here.
Even Rox was talking and all that, and I couldn't really hear many people.
I'm gonna have to go. Girls and boys.
I don't think you're allowed to.
I'm gonna have to go.
Wow.
Yeah, because I remember them saying you can't.
I'll bring my little megaphone with me next month.
Oh, so that's a tripod then? I thought that was a gimbal. What's that? Is that the battery thing? Is it?
No idea, yeah. Play that funky music, white boy.
This is the app I'm using to actually get around the list. As you know, YouTube changed it where you have to have more than 1,000 subscribers to stream from a mobile. But using this app, you can stream from on a mobile with less than 1,000 subscribers. So,
Get one.
Oh yeah!
I know.
but I'm full off. That's close to my windows. It's sort of going to be cold.
Then, but it's right now. Now my spirit's been free. I was in a relationship for 17 years, and now she's she had an affair on the other day.
I'll speak to you later the week.
But now
Listen, guys.
she said,
When have you been doing your when have you been your film then? Have you been doing the last thing with that then, or the recording?
it's been a pleasure.
I see, yeah.
Always.
Yeah. Because you've been recording it from the SLR then. When all that footage, was that recording on that then?
Keep it moving. So
Keep it moving.
Eat GoPro and then the phone and then I've had this for years. I just use it. We're going to talk about it.
Yeah,
Suddenly now I'm getting into the filming side of it.
Yeah. Well, normally I'm sort of fairly good with cameras and things, but all my tech at the moment is all a bit like. Because even at the moment, I'm actually got a working smartphone. At the moment, I'm using a mobile data dongle with my tablet because my smartphone broke, but I've got a new one. And then, but I did a little camera, but that's sort of half working as well. But when I like playing around like Zoom.
This kind of camera is a lot better because the footage is
Yeah.
there's a lot more control you can do after editing as well. I think the mobile phone filming you need to have a good setting.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like signal-wise.
Yeah.
Especially if you want to do live streaming.
Well, that's the problem I had when I did my first live stream. It was a bit blocky. Like I was trying to do some live streaming on the train in, but obviously the signal varies when you're on a train because you're going through a fast area. Obviously here it's better because you got a strong signal here, but like where I live, obviously like down in the valley, you can get it's a bit patchy there. Obviously, if you want to, and you're out in the fields and things.
Do you like streaming?
Well, I was just testing it. I was like walking around the field, just to do a few tests, just to see what the frame rate was like.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think like. I don't really know in terms of how you get a good signal when you're out and about because I've never lived in the out and about.
Well, see, in central London,
Here we have signal everywhere.
Yeah.
It's honestly kind of leave central London. My signal was crap. I could not get signal.
Oh, if
About 3
even in my town, if I'm up on the top of the town, you know, it's quite a good signal. If I'm down in my part of the town, you know, it's a bit patchy. Although I'm about to switch mobile networks anyway. I'm going to switch back to O2. I've been with Virgin Mobile. Are we moving on? Right, I'll pause this. How do I pause this?
Yeah, like a little market, a mini one. Just for filming, just for interviewing and stuff like that.
No viewers so far. Which? Oh, the policeman, you mean? Wait, policeman? Is it? Oh, he's gone, I think. Oh, I think he came up here, you know, the policeman. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to come back last Sunday of the month. But I was thinking maybe let's try and meet up somewhere in between.
Oh, yes,
Make a bit of content together because I want to interview a bit more about in-depth about stuff that you talk about.
Oh, as you see, you know, it's a massive topic. If I'm being absolutely honest, it's the most in-depth truth topic you can get.
It is. Right, I'm going to have to go.
Oh, yeah. Well, the time just flown by.
I know it has. 3 hours.
I was trying to get here like about. I thought it was about 5 o'clock.
I know.
Not up here.
I thought that was quite synchronous. You know, on the voice note, you said about the 2 minutes, and then I talked about the 2, didn't I? But what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a video about that because on Karen B's stream, she was talking about. She was saying like for this. I just saw 222 viewers on the stream, and then obviously I come into the stream after it started, and then she was like talking about something about like push 1 or 2. So the whole movement was then for the number 2 just after that. And number 2 is female energy. Very strange. But I should make a video about that. You know, to like show how. I think this is the difficult thing is, particularly this kind of knowledge, because it's all like occult means hidden anyway. You know, in when you look at back to the Latin stuff, and it's the sort of thing you have to like have a whole video about. It's probably like. Even with FE, you know, you have to like have videos to explain it all, you know, but maybe more so for this, you know.
I have to catch up. I have to run before my car gets clamped, but I'm going to go now. And we'll catch up. We'll catch up on Skype.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, the corruption was put there, wasn't it? YouTube down.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about the 5 and 11 more and all that as well.
So, Fred? Sorry, your name again? Stephen, Mark.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure meeting you, Stephen.
Enjoy your watermelon.
Yeah, thank you. Enjoy.
Ben.
Stay balanced.
Well, I better get everyone off now then.
Yeah, dude.
I've got to get my bike. Bye then. Well, I'm going to ride back to Baker Street. So
we want to get to London Bridge or Charing Cross.
You want to get the?
So we're going southeast.
Yeah, you want to get the Jubilee line then, don't you?
Yeah.
You can get that from Bond Street.
O2.
You can either get it from Marble Arch to Bond Street.
Yeah, that way, is it? You going that way?
Yeah, I'm going that way. Yeah, I'm just going to stop this. Hang on, how do I stop this? Well, I'll keep that going.
Get the bus. Yeah. The bus is only 5 minutes from O2 from us. Sorry, darling.
You can either go from Marble Arch to the Central, or they can just go from Bond Street on the Jubilee. You going back to say London Bridge, you said?
Well, London Bridge, Charing Cross, either one. Oh, no, but I'd rather go on the O2, Jubilee.
Well, if you can either walk to Bond Street and then get it from there, or they can get it from Marble Arch and then you change.
Yeah.
I never actually lived in central London. You know, I was at university. I was at Birkbeck College.
Yeah.
You know, I commuted to university every evening for about 4 years. No, more than that.
Yeah.
7 years, I think it was in the end.
Wow. What was you studying?
I was studying computers. I was first doing a foundation degree in IT, and then I did the BSc. Then it was part time, you know, so it was in the evenings.
Right.
So it took me. Well, I had to repeat a bit of it, you know, because whilst I was doing the course, there was like a few interruptions. Like I had to move at one point, and then the financial issues came up. Because I was studying part time then.
Do you do computers now, or?
Well, you know, yes, I've been working computers for a friend and doing some stuff self-employed.
Would you program them?
I've done programming before. I've done like Windows support databases, you know, a variety of stuff really.
Yeah.
Although for that friend, I actually had a job doing electrical testing. You know, like testing.
Yeah.
You know, you test the portable appliances and stuff because he was like doing the IT for school. Although he's actually moved to France now, so I've actually been trying to plan a visit to go and see him in he's living with. His dad has a villa down near Nice, but he's now actually started renting a place in Monaco because he wanted to move there to re-establish his business. So I want to go and stay there and stay in the middle of Monaco in his flat. So obviously, but at the moment I'm trying to debate how to get over there. You know, should I fly there or get the Eurostar? You know, all this crap going on. Because now they're saying on aircraft there might be no hand luggage. That'll piss me off. You know, because I want to be able to have my music and things.
You know, you'd get over there by dinghy because the immigrants are coming.
Oh yeah,
over
look,
by
look, Nigel Farage.
Yeah,
look at
you
Nigel.
see that?
You know, what's the one thing that we all voted Brexit? You know, to preserve our culture.
Yeah.
That's the one thing. Over any financial things, you know, we voted Brexit to preserve the sovereignty, and exactly as Farage and others have found out that. And we got a long coastline. Are they coming across from Ireland? Are they coming across from?
Well, the French are handing them over apparently.
Yeah.
But that's all design anyway. That's just to wind everyone up. It's just design. It's just another.
Because obviously, you know, they try and come in. They try and get them on voting registers, don't they?
Marble Arch. We're going to go to Marble Arch. That's for us. We go that way. We can change.
Yeah, you can change it to Bond Street.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah.
So my friend Stephen.
Yeah, good to meet you.
Yeah, I'll see you this. You're coming next time.
I'll come next, mate. Are you on YouTube or like you gonna?
No, I don't know. But I'll look you up. You got a YouTube channel?
I'm on the Skype group. I've got a YouTube channel, Lunderground. Yeah.
What's it called?
Lunderground is the YouTube channel. Yeah.
Yeah.
And are you on the Skype group?
No.
Okay. Yeah.
No.
But you know, do you watch the show? Are you on there sometimes? I'm on the chat there sometimes.
I'm not on nothing. Honestly,
yeah.
No. I just follow this stuff from, you know.
How did you hear about all this then?
Oh my God! 5 years ago through Derek DeBay and.
Oh, so you're some. So you have been watching stuff on YouTube then?
Sorry.
You're on YouTube then. You've been watching stuff on YouTube.
Oh, watching stuff on YouTube.
Yeah.
I've got a channel. Yeah.
Oh, what I mean, sometimes you'll see me in the chat there. Sometimes, you know, when on the show. So you should see my. Yeah. You should see my name come on the chat. Yeah. So then you should be able to see my channel name then.
Yeah. Okay. I'll do
Yeah.
that. Definitely.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
It's been good meeting you anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
You too, brother.
See ya.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. There you go.
Well then there. Well, that's good. Actually, I'm gonna hold this. I'm gonna start streaming. I'm gonna ride back to Baker Street now. Fuck this. And we're gonna stream. And let's see if anyone tunes in. How do I hold this? Right. Oh fuck. Shit. Fuck. Anyway. Fuck. Stream info. Is it listed now? Ah, good. Now, hold it like that. I'll do that. Like that. I hold it like that. To see how it looks like. go down Oxford Street. Oxford Street here. I was doing a bit of a extra filming after my first proper low-light stream. Trying a bit of filming on the bike. Underground is in London. Less COVID around than I thought. Not that many masks. Muscovites. Made the mistake that I hadn't done this. I remember to make the stream public. This is the second time or third time I've only used Streamlabs in the field like this. Actually, how will that appear? Will it appear sideways? Because I think you've got to be like that. Very rudimentary at the moment. I think now that's filming correctly. Or go down Regent Street. circus. Tartarian buildings. Piccadilly Circus. West End. Chinatown, Shaftesbury Avenue. Casino's closed, I think. It's the square. Been here for a while. Be there or be square. That phrase. For those who are watching the Globe Light Tour, be there or be square. Just trying to make it here. Couldn't that time in December. But this YouTube streaming is easier than I thought. One or two technical hiccups, but Empire Casino is still closed. I've been there many times over the years. Spend many a time in there till 3 or 4 in the morning drinking. You don't pay an entry fee. And many of the other bars and things shut here by about 2 or 3 usually. Well, I haven't really been socialising around here much regularly for years, but looking a bit more like there's life. First time I've been in the West End. Long time. Maybe 4 or 5 months. Being into Chinatown. It is.
You alright?
Chinatown. Something from the police over there. Just trying to find Chinatown. I think it's up here. Here we go. Chinatown. Been here for a while. It's nice to have the bike, walk around, ride around and see what's going on. First time I've really been around I haven't brought a bike into London for a while, but it's Chinatown. First I remember coming to the Wong Keys restaurant just down the other end of Chinatown back in the 80s when my brother was at university. Looks like there's life in Chinatown, at least. This is Gerrard Street, isn't it? I think. We're almost down to this. See, once you sort of get the YouTube thing, it's sort of, I can see the buzz of it now. Although this is very extremely rudimentary, I need a proper mount and stabilisation. Just holding it in my hand, freehold, one arm riding. Now we're going into Covent Garden. This is like one of the trendy drinking area of London theatres. Now let's head down to Covent Garden Market. I think it is. American restaurant, Five Guys. DMs, wore those back in the grunge days. I don't care if you use my data. Next plan now is to get making money with numerology, because interestingly, somebody who was there today was born on the 28th of May. Well, my ex-girlfriend's sister was born the 28th of May, and they now own a house. Well, they bought 1.2 million. That's somebody with 28 birthday energy. Even prior to the lockdown, going back the last 3 or 4 years, 5 years, there's been a lot of nonsense in my life anyway. To iron out. It'd be nice to get a mount for the bike and do some filming. Although I want to get one of their scooters and obviously get a car. Oh, you got some viewers. Emmanuel, yes, I've seen them. Are you FE? I'm just stopping now and looking at the screen. I've got 2. This is good. Basically, I've just been to the meet with Roxanne, Asita, who else? System failure, you may have just seen at the start of the stream, and then I just came for a bit of a ride around the west end of London. Londerground, so this is very Londerground, so 2 viewers. But yes, I'm just looking at, this is a 29-inch wheels, paid about 500. So, you know, it's reliable, it's good. I did fall off it earlier in the year. I've got to get that seat repaired and the gears, but otherwise it's very quite robust. It's a Spanish make. This. But anyway, so far, well then the filming is working well so far. I think the first part I got the orientation wrong, because in this Streamlabs thing I don't think I can change that. But what's the quality like? Is it quite clear? Obviously I'm in central London, so the signal should be quite good, but I'm actually using this tablet through a data dongle, because at the moment my smartphone isn't functional, so I've got to get a new smartphone. So this was a bit of a simple stopgap. I paid £45 for this dongle, and so far it seems it's a 4G. It's not 5G. But I'm in town, you know, so I should get a good signal anyway. This must be quite good then, the quality, because you can see it could be much older, but basically lots of mud flood buildings around this part, so I suppose this is a bit of a underground stream, isn't it? Looking at the hidden aspects in the London Underground itself, of course, you know. I'm sure many of those tunnels are Tartarian. Anyway, we'll continue now. I was just stopping to see how the stream was, and then we are now going to head east towards what's called the City of London. So we're going to go, because I've got the bike, you know, I can get there. Because even from where I started at a place called Baker Street, I've done about, what, 3 miles? So we'll go from here through the, what do you call, so this is called Covent Garden, then you get to like a place called Holborn, St Paul's, and then the City of London. Like where the Bank of England is based. That's actually this. Yes, this will be interesting, going into the City of London. That is actually technically a separate state, isn't it? So you'll see it from the street itself. But yes, we drive on the. It's Canada drives on the right, don't they? It is on the left, yeah. Australia does, and 1 or 2 other countries do. But yes, Canada for some reason, although they were, the Queen is still the head of state. Yes, I suppose it was more logical for them to keep on the same side of the states. But I'll just put it on the handlebars now, and we'll continue. I'll do narration if I can. Haven't really been into London properly. Some of these parts for months. And with the most bizarre thing ever in all of our lives, then, well, not the most bizarre thing ever, individually, but I think collectively, then see how things are, but sort of back to normality, as you've seen. I can't. You tend to have the more liberal voters there. Out where I come from, it's the more conservative part. So we're now sort of going around the back streets between Covent Garden and then into an area called Holborn, I think. We should be. And that's basically like in the centre of London, but going east a bit. And then you get to the city, which is the financial area. So a spontaneous underground guided lockdown, post-lockdown tour of London. I don't like that word anyway, as we were talking about earlier. Post-COVID, spontaneous Londonground bike tour. Although I do have to actually get the London Underground later. I could cycle back, but it's about 25 miles back to, well, from here about 28 miles back to where I live. You could do it, but it'd be time, plus there's quite a you get hills towards the end. Thank you. We've got to get the mount there, so then I can obviously have the tube. If I need to brake quickly. Ah, yes, we are now on the Strand. That's on the Monopoly board. I think this is the Strand, so we're now going to head east. And this will take us down towards Holborn. Actually, we'll go along the Thames, actually. Let's go. That'll be even better. Take a detour here down to... We'll go down to the River Thames and embankment. Since I'm in town, then might sort of go full underground, I suppose you could say. Go full London Underground. Because as you've seen, the underground station, the train system is called the London Underground. Officially the first underground train system in the world, although now we know about the mud flood. I'm sure all of these were built before that, but I suppose because of the city, which we're going to be going to, perhaps they said there first, just to think that, well, I suppose that's always, and still is to a large extent, the Rothschilds Financial Centre, as we're going to be coming up to. But now I'm taking some side streets to get down to the River Thames. Actually, we're now going to end up in an area called Temple. This is like the legal area of London. There are lots of solicitors and lawyers and barristers' offices around here. But actually, this is there were lots of mud flood buildings around here, actually, I just remembered. And that's what I thought was really changes your perspective. Like over there, the mud flood. So you've got modern build. I haven't been around a lot of these areas for a long time. In fact, this is the London School of Economics. This is a very left-wing university. This is like where a lot of ex-prime ministers went to. You know, liberal university, a bit like, I'm trying to think now. It's like a liberal economics university in politics. I'm trying to cut down to the... We're in these sides. Oh, there. Oh, I want irony. Let's stop there. Isn't that ironic? Look at that. I've seen Emmanuel. I've seen that name. Are you Globe denier or Globey? But there we go. That's ironic because I was talking about that earlier. Talk about serendipity. Well, it's all on YouTube now. Where are we? Sheffield Street, WC2. Basically, the postcode WC, that's West Central. Because in London, the postcodes, you have like W and WC and EC N for the postcodes in the Greater London area. Or thereabouts. But isn't that serendipitous, the Globe? When I came to meet the Globe deniers. And that's at 6:41. Which is, how long into the stream? 43 minutes. Right. I just hope this isn't using too much data, but even if it does cost me a bit, I can afford that because I've got to get cracking on my events again now. See, I'm actually holding it. Yes, actually, it's not too bad, even just in my hand. It's not too unstable. Good for spontaneity, but See lots of Tartarian buildings here. We're now coming down to an area called Aldwych. That's on the Monopoly board. So not too far from Trafalgar Square now, actually. So yes, you're getting a... This is the most... maybe 10 minutes of the... I got there, obviously Roxanne at the end, because I was there, got 3:15, and boom, it got 6 o'clock. That's it. Time just flew by. What is the exact age of this building? Tower blocks. Are you south of the... I suppose south of London, so I'm here. Oh, in fact... How do I, then I'll get some feed the area I'm in now. I live in what you call southwest, sort of out of London, and then a place called Uxbridge. Only 6 weeks after I moved. And on this channel, so parliamentary debate about that. This is in 2009, I should... That's the thing I was talking about, wasn't I? Zoom. You've got the walkie-talkie South Bank, that area over there. This is Blackfriars old warship, which down have a cigarette and the numbers, and all the mobile networks were given Dan and Rich. 2003, I made sort of cover the app running at. I closed down out of a station called Charing Cross. Yes, my friend's father, he's got a school friend of mine, and his father has to continue on for about another 4 or 5 miles, and it's like a... When you go to the seaside, you know, you do... No, like, now I'm thinking, it's cities are by water. So like Miami, New York, Paris, Aquarius. And Aquarius is a water bearer. They say... And yes, I think, because you know, water, currency. Now they say money is water. Money is like the invisible numerology, all of that. That's a hire bike. You know, there's lots of all this nonsense around on the roads at the moment due to the COVID ESC. You know, roads have been changed or temporarily, you know, the pavement or sidewalk, as I know they call it. Well, I know it's sidewalking in America, but what about in Canada? I can't see the chat at the moment because it's in a case, so when I stop I'll be able to see the chat. If I get one of those gimbals, you know, then I can see the screen at the same time then. You know, like what Roxanne had, or somebody had there today, you know, that tripod thing, so then you can see the screen. This isn't a case at the moment, obviously the case is covering the screen, but I'm just holding it at an angle I know that's still filming. Then when I stop I can obviously then open the case and see what's on the chat. I'll stop soon and I'm going to have a cigarette. Well, actually, a bit more than that. Have a she or a puff. So now I'm going to go down that subway, I think. It's down there. One of these subways that always smell of piss, these things, don't they? I've not been down this one before. Where did this go? It's a car park. Ugh. That's what they're trying to take down all the old buildings and replace it with these monstrosities. It's trying to get down to the... This is now called the South Bank. You've got the London Eye, the National Theatre, the South Bank Centre. That's like a concert hall, I think. You've got the Royal Festival Hall. They were all built for something called the Festival of Britain in 1951, but then I know in the Tartaria mudflood you got the Festival of Britain 1851, and to me those buildings look like you certainly couldn't make those in 3 months or whatever they said. That's particularly why I choose the Underground name, because it just seemed very apt for the fact that I got in when I got into the mudflood in late 2018. Well, thank you for joining in the stream, and hopefully this will be the start of more. Main thing I've got to do is tariff. Well, I'm about to change my phone network anyway, but I need to get a new smartphone most of all. Then I could have, and obviously, you know, get things like a And I need to get it back for the bike anyway, so I can have the smartphone on there, you know, when I'm trying to read the other information, like planning a route. But by the Thames now, we're going to sit down and then have a good old greenie. And then it's now 10 to 7, we'll do filming. I'm not sure how much, well, there should be plenty, you know, at the time it was a very good, near the top of the range Samsung Galaxy Tab S2, and it's still quite fast. Work recently, then particularly with video stuff, it's always very problematic on a slow computer, because it's only got an Intel i3, 6-year-old Hewlett-Packard laptop, who I bought from this girl anyway, who I fell out with, and she's mad anyway. She's like on prescription antidepressants and antipsychotics. And the stupid thing, the battery never even worked. That's basically back in my bad patch where I had the stutter before I was on CBD oil. Obviously, I've been using green, you know, what do you call it, Sensimedia and all that since 17. But CBD oil only recent in the last 3 years or so, and those are the things that got me off all these prescription drugs. Right, there's some benches now. See, it's nice. It's quite pleasant. You know, this has been enjoyable actually, even though I got there a bit late today and the time flew by. Just nice to see some normality in what should be a normal city of London. Well, let's stop here by this bench. And we'll the bike there, but the biking. That's a London plane tree, they're called. They have these trees planted because they're good with the pollution. That's one thing I learned about those trees. I used to be good with trees and identifying them. Like that. But I'll just put this off to the side and then we'll have a nice. I'll look at the chat now, see what's on there. I'm going for an. Oh yes, right. I've got to plug the battery in, so. We'll have the camera so you can see. There we go. I'll keep the camera. See, it's in a case, so then if I have the case like that, it gets in the way. Oh, if I do that, maybe. I'm trying to have it so then you can still see what's going on. So this is where you need all the right, stands and stuff, don't you, when you want to do filming correctly? But I'll see if I can put it there. So if I do that, that's going to lead it, so then you can at least see the riverside. There we go. So I'm just off to the left here. I know that on the first stream I did that No One's Flower came on when I was doing a stream in my flat actually. If you look at my channel, I've done about 2 or 3, but I need to sort of go through them and delete some, you know. And there were like 1 or 2 on there that were just test streams. I was drinking some water. Lots of construction still going on, although obviously, you know, what's going to happen with... Well, I'll be glad when the house prices fall down, because then, you know, the one thing you don't want to end up doing is, you know, the whole renting thing, that's a con. Well, at the moment, obviously, fortunately, I'm in a situation where I am renting, but obviously, you know, I'm not under any unsecured circumstances, but, you know, I still want to buy. You know, so the one thing, you know, in FE, you know, land, so you can grow food and stuff. Or, you know, it's in London, you know, even around here, you know, a flat will probably be about 500,000. Or so, go into. Now it's time for. I'll give you the hint of what it will be. The hint. That's the hint. Well, the hint is that. I'm sure you can gather. This is the first one actually. I've only had 2 today. I had one. I had one. I think the time just flew by. It always seems to with you when I've only come here 4 times so far. I've only met flat earthers so far, or global eye globe deniers now on about 6 or 7 occasions, but every time I meet up with them, particularly in person, you know, the time just flies by. And even then when I got there I had about one. I've only had about 2 joints, I think. Literally. In the last 4 hours, which is actually pretty good for me, so... Oh, there it is. I'm just trying to find the other bit. The papers. Oh, where are all those now? Oh. Damn. Shit. Just thought I spilled something then. Oops. Damn. Damn. Look. That's not too bad. Where are they? Find them. Ah. There we go. Bit of the bottom of the grinder nearly fell off. Then I thought I'd lost some of the, you know the keef, the keef that collects in the bottom. I thought I'd lost some of that. Then it was a bit annoying, but. You know, on these things, that thing, the keef. I've got to be careful with that bag, and I've got to make sure the keef. That's you know when it collects in the bottom, then you have that like at the weekend. Unfortunately, on that grinder, the bottom it's a good grinder, but I've already pre-ground some in here, so it's got to get. It's actually quite good here. It's been really windy earlier, so I should have. That's where Roxanne's very organised. Always. Well, no, you can tell the organised FE people, they always come with their pre-rolls. Usually I do, but I've got to find my... there we go. Actually, Roxanne was saying that she's speaking to somebody who works for War. Whoops. See, that's the wind. Got to put it like that. Might be a bit of a... I'm trying to give you a good view, but... Seeing this is back to our very English weather now. We had our lockdown. We had our early lockdown summer. Also, I've got to plug the... Right. This will be a nice relaxing now. Well, I've not smoked a joint by the River Thames for a long time, probably since last year, so... Kind of... This is sort of said... Everyone agrees, the whole Globe Life tour thing, at the end of 2019, it had like come to a head of steam like it had never before. Then all this came along and flattened the curve. The more and more I look, circumstantially, nobody can prove to me that it's not there to stop Brexit and the Globe line. What Trump's trying to do. I think he's trying to do things, but obviously the steep state, and obviously we're in the thick of it here. And we'll, after this, and when I've given this a bit of a charge, we'll get on into the city. The stream's still going. Can you still see the stream? They're saying something then, because obviously I'm seeing this message come up, but obviously there's some of these error messages. I'm just getting used to it. Did that mean that the stream was disconnected, or no, it's still going? Something came off. It was saying about an API key, but it still seems connected. Because when I first tried the stream, it wouldn't connect properly. Right. So how's your weekends been then? Are you from the Really Woke show then? Have I seen you on there, or on the chat there, or other, on Brian Stavely, or so I know some, probably about 10 or 11 of the subs on my channel, are just people who this YouTube channel, I created this account in 2006, so this is actually probably one of the older YouTube channels in existence, but I've only ever just put the old video on there, you know, as I said, you know, from like parties and things, you know, just to, there was some funny video at a party, but in terms of actual sort of serious YouTube, you know, for organised streams and, you know, being involved in Globe Live, then really only since that time, yes, in May, when I actually started doing streams. I recorded a few things when I came back here in March, when I met everyone at Speaker's Corner for the first time at the start of March. Because I must get here earlier next time. You know, my main sort of bane that I've got to tackle now is my timekeeping. I tend to get sidetracked, although there were a few distractions domestically earlier, with someone coming to test the wiring, the landlord. Okay, now we're just getting this nicely done, and then this will be a nice, well deserved. The stream's still on, isn't it? Yeah. Right, I've got to plug the battery in now. I hope I've got enough battery to last until the city. That's what I want to do, because I want to get that on film. Right, well, I've burnt this nicely. Oh, that was the problem with the start of the stream. It first came up. The annoying thing with this, or perhaps it's a setting I need to change. By default, it keeps putting it as unlisted. So then the stream was actually, I then only realised that, and actually when you joined the stream, it had already been on for about 10 minutes. So annoyingly, I forgot to put it as a public stream when, obviously, then everyone was at Speaker's Corner before everyone departed. So I've got to remember that next time, because then when it came on, it, for some reason, by default, it put it as unlisted. Oh shit. But YouTube streaming is, you've got to watch a lot of things, don't you? I can see it's a bit like when you in a radio station, you've got to look at all the dials and controls. That's better. There we go. I can hold I'll hold this now. I rolled it correctly. Just gotta, not drawing now. That's why I always like to pre-roll, you know. I don't really like rolling when you're in the field. It's always got to fumble. Well, it's working now, but it's always much better to roll than before, you know, when it's not windy. And there we go. She's having the required effect. Yes, these are the brand I like using, and yes, that's synchronous. Like, for example, I know Roxanne uses this brand, and then Martin Leakey, I know that he uses them. And then who else? Martin Leakey, Roxanne, 007, I think he uses them. I know that the number of us have, so that's a synchronicity. And then Roxanne was said to you that she was talking to the guy who owed it about some kind of sponsorship or funding for the Really Woke show. There we go. Oh, well, that's calmed me down now. Oh, I better get the battery plugged in. 17%. Well, that's a sign of Q. The funny thing about, obviously, with everyone talking about Q, I'm born on the 17th, so my birthday letter technically is Q. You know, I like to think it's true. Obviously, you know, I'm a very factual person. You know, I like to keep a balanced view of things, you know, and look for supporting evidence, you know. But I have found some interesting things recently. I found an old video from a I'm looking for this battery at the moment. Here we go. This thing. One of these big. I bought this recently. You know, they're very handy. Big battery pack thing. Because I bought one the first time I came out. I came with the old one I had. You know, it was only a small one, and then one charge on that was like enough for half the tablet. because I'm using this tablet, then you've got to have a bit of a bit. Plus, anyway, you know, even if streaming itself is quite a processor-hungry thing, isn't it? It's going down, but it's charging now. That's good. Any power? Well, I can't really turn off any. Oh, whoops! Hang on, this thing's come up. Back. That's good, right. So far, so good. Well, then we'll sit here for a bit to give it a bit of charge. Although, hopefully, I can even when I'm bicycling, I've got this long cable here, so the long cable should be able to reach from the battery. Then I can have that in my bag there. Obviously, then if I'm on the bike, I think the main objective for me now is I want it to last until I get through the city, and then I'll probably get on the Metropolitan line at a station called Aldgate, you know, back on the Tube, London Underground. There are two names to it. It's either called the Tube or the London Underground. London Underground is the official name. The Tube is like the sort of local colloquialism. Although they sometimes use that in the advertising as well. That's nice though. Weed is a friend indeed. Still, this is all. Yeah, I think being a YouTuber is somewhat more involved in this than sort of being a Facebooker or Twitter, isn't it? No, because video is a more dynamic medium in that way, isn't it? It's certainly interesting to see the differences between. You know, I wouldn't call YouTube a social network, is it, as such? No, kind of. Although, as we were talking about earlier, I'd say that YouTube is by far the most meddled with of any website, really, much more than Twitter, much, you know, in terms of how they censor it, fiddle with subscribers and everything. Because ultimately, video is the most powerful medium. You know, live video or prepared videos are the most powerful medium in terms of telling truth to the masses, aren't they? Over there, you can see that top of that, just where you see that building under construction, then there's like to the two buildings to the left, there's like a sort of tower sticking out the top slightly. I can't zoom in, fortunately, but it's like just to the right of that black sign you can see. That's called BT Tower. My brother, my second oldest brother, he has a flat over there, so he lives in central London. That's still about maybe a mile or a mile and a half away from here. It's just behind Oxford Street, but that's called BT Tower. That used to be the tallest building in London until obviously then buildings in the city started appearing, as we're going to be heading over that way. Obviously the financial centre, basically the area to the east of St Paul's Cathedral. Still, at least, I think I can't see many mask wearers. That's one good thing, isn't it? You know, we're right in the middle of London here. You know, the Thames is basically, if you go, say, from the Thames at Westminster to Tower Bridge, you've basically gone through the heart of London, so that's encouraging. But, you know, obviously, within a city it can vary, you know, you can get some. I think it's just natural human psychology, isn't it? You know, some parts you're going to get more people wearing it and other parts less, but generally overall, like I certainly know in America, you know, there are some parts of the Midwest where they didn't even have lockdowns because there were too many gun owners, you know, you couldn't even enforce it, whereas obviously you go to like California, it's even more lunatic probably than anywhere in the UK or in England. You keep saying about request is missing something about a cookie login, but it's still streaming, I think. Hopefully, I don't want to play with it. I don't want to fiddle with it too much, as long as it's still streaming. I do need to sit down and explore the app more, but really just for me to see, and then when I play back, you know, what's the quality like? You know, is the data fast enough? Although I'm going to be getting a new smartphone, obviously this is the solution I'll still use for the next 2 or 3 weeks until I get the cash to. And seagull. There was 1 or 2 showers though. I felt a drop of rain. Yeah, see, if I'm streaming, I can't even like adjust the colour or anything or the zoom. So I want to be able to find out how to do that, or then get an app, or somehow work out how I can do that. Then when I'm on the stream, I can zoom in and things. But still, I'm glad to see. I can't really see any mask wearers actually. Yes, you only really see mask wearers on the transport system, and even on the tube. There were less than I thought there. Yes, it's gone down to 14 now. So then in a minute I'll go to move into the city. So then otherwise because obviously, you know, it uses the. Just Roxanne was saying this, you know, that. And I've heard other people say that, you know, that because streaming is a high intensity thing anyway, using lots of CPU power and battery, then even though I'm charging it, it's still going down slightly anyway. It's now gone down to 14. Is there a way I can turn power saving on? Well, I can turn off the. Don't need Bluetooth, do I? Well, then basically I've got to make sure that I'll get moving in a minute, and hopefully this will. It may run out before I get to the city, but I'll basically continue on to where that place called Aldgate if I can. So it's charging, but it's still using battery power faster than it can charge. Well, there, that's a good charger there. You know, I think it's so. How many minutes? Like about 14,000 milliamp hours. You know, so it's enough to charge this thing about 3 or 4 times. This is a 8-inch tablet, so it's going to use more power than a smartphone. I suppose this would have maybe about 5 or 6 smartphone chargers in it, I think. From one charge on that battery. And this thing's just quite good. It's actually a very good battery, you know. I actually charged it about a month ago, but then I went to look at it this morning and it still had 100% of charge. Yeah, it seems to hold its charge very well. Down to there now, so when I finish that, we'll get back on the bike then. It should last until we get to the city. If it does run out, you know, you should at least. Well, it's starting to rain, I think, now, is it? No. Might do. A little bit windy. I think I can focus here, but yes, I can't do anything like zoom, or I can't do any colour adjustments when I'm obviously got the app open. But still, just the proof of concept, you know, because some people, obviously they think, obviously, yes, with the standard YouTube app you can't stream, but you know, to be able to stream for me with only 66, no, about 70 subscribers now, but still, when I'm coming to, you know, Speaker's Corner and all that, then it's a very handy thing. And it's going to take a while for me to get to 1,000 subs, so being able to stream every time I come is. Now that I know it works and we've been on for now, then that's one thing I'm glad to know. And, you know, hopefully that'll be empowering for others then, because then with people thinking that you have to have above 1,000 and they think that you can't stream, then obviously then this workaround proves that wrong. Yes, it's starting to rain a bit. What do you think? Enough to finish this quickly. Typical England. I do have an umbrella, but although we're under this fairly thick foliage on this tree, I think it's just a shower though. It's very April-y, the weather at the moment. You know what the term April showers is? A bit like that. I've got a Very English. Well, we're getting to see our weather. Hopefully, you know, this is we've had unsettled weather now for about the last 3 weeks. The spring was lovely. Had loads of sun. You know, if you saw the streams on the 31st of May, I think, in the Speaker's Corner, that probably had sunny weather. And actually, even since the start of Speaker's Corner, even since March, we're having nice weather. All this weather we've been having recently, we've not had this for a while, since about maybe early March. Well, very British English weather this. Can't get any more British than this. This is being in London, by the river. Life coming back gradually now. And all this is also actually quite good for me. I've been talking now pretty much for 1 hour 21 minutes, so that, I think everyone gets a bit of that, you know, perhaps a bit of, not stage fright, you know, but if you're going on to a meeting you haven't been on before and you sometimes get mental blocks like that. But no, I could easily go onto a stream and say Russian vids, and I was joking about that, and yeah, even today I was joking I should do, Russian vids and I should do a 33-hour stream. Wonder when that will happen. It's just a passing shower. Had to be a rainbow. Wouldn't that be good? Wouldn't surprise me if there was a rainbow. It was one of those days, really. Ah. Signal. Shit. Oh. Oh, I thought the stream went down. Whoops. See, so it keeps saying this funny thing on the screen. Bloody hell, it. Hang on. Umbrella. Hang on, umbrella. I've got an umbrella here. Got. There we go. Umbrella. Oh, how English. Very glad I bought that umbrella. And the sort of cap holding the... I've got the J, the umbrella, and the battery down there, but I'm just about under. I'll be so glad when I can get my car sorted again. Although, being on the bike, obviously getting a perspective here you couldn't in a car. See, what I would love to get is one of those scooters. Well, over there, I bet wouldn't it be nice if a rainbow comes out? There's the umbrella. Well, very glad I bought the umbrella. I didn't actually bring a coat. I didn't even bring a jumper. It's not that cold. I've got this purple t-shirt on. Well, as soon as it finishes, I'll get the move on then, because it now says 13%. It should last until the city, hopefully. Right. There we go. Well, that's very English scene there. I think it's basically a warmer version of April at the moment. But at least it's not going to last. And in fact, this is the first shower I think that's been for a while. Hasn't really rained actually that much since I got here. It did rain a lot this morning and back in Amersham. But yes, if you go back to the start of the stream, when I first got the app to stream it, it keeps defaulting to unlisted, so you'll see myself talking with Lockdown and who else was there? System Failure, Acito and all that for the first... Oh, there's a Masquerite. For the first 5 minutes or so, 10 minutes, and then after that, obviously, then I've been doing the tour. Right, so we're done with that. Shit. Oh. I'll have to wait for this to finish, and then I've got to improvise, and I've got to have this hold this, and then the cable from the bag charging this thing. Gotta get all that in there, it's gonna get wet. Anyhow. Fuck. Shit. Should have bought a Mac or something, but... Right, well, let's get everything in my bag properly now. Gotta make sure I don't get the water on. Umbrella's consume my hand at the moment, but gotta make sure that that's all okay. Don't get wet. There we go. What about the water getting on my papers and stuff? Rolling stuff. Right. I'll have the view back in a minute, but I'm just going to put stuff in my pockets into my bag now. And then when this stops, I'll get a move on. Trust it to rain at this point. At least I'm protected. Well, there's the... I've got this lying on a bench at the moment, but he's pissing down there. But I've got that's on a stand, so I've got to put some stuff in my pockets, and then I can all that in there. Right, shit. Let's see. Right. Where are those gone? Where are they? Packing my bag now. Correct order. I've got to make sure the water doesn't get in anything. Especially when you've got rolling stuff. It's waterproof actually. I've got the bag itself is actually a good rucksack. It's a Deuter, that's it. It's a German make, and it's actually got a thing you can... How do I get off this keyboard? Whoops. Oh, it's... How do I get off that? Done. Whoops, back. Sun's coming out. There we go. Trying to get... I'm on this stupid... And the screen's... Whoops. Keyboard's come up. Done. Hang on then. That's stuck on there. Right, I'm almost ready. There we go, right. See, I'm still, I've got to get used to the app still. It keeps going onto the... There we go, I can see the main screen now. Just want to get to the screen where I can see the... You know, where it says the stream rate, the number of viewers. It keeps going to the other screen and then the keyboard keeps coming up. Oh, I can chat. Oh, I see. Test. Let me try that. Oh, I see. Right. Hello. See, I didn't... It's hello. Just going to test the chat. Right, so it should have... Did it send a chat message? Maybe that's not where... maybe that's why. But I think I can't send a chat to somebody. The stream's working, but I can't send a chat for some reason. Shit, hang on. Make sure that... Right. That's... Fucking... Gotta make sure it doesn't get wet. Fucking rain. Well, the stream's still on, but for some reason I can't chat. The main thing I'm trying to do is have it so that, well, this fucking umbrella's going to be wet now, isn't it? So I've got to carry that somehow, and perhaps I can. I'll drink that. I'm going to put that down there for a moment. Bloody flames. Stop now. Bloody water. Right, not going to get wet now. We've already got it's wet. This rain has stopped now. I think it's bloody rain. Right, that under there. Bloody rain. Well, I can pull that over this, can't I? I've got that thing in the bag. I've got to all go into the area of the umbrella, and it's not the biggest umbrella. All the stuff I've got. Now it's okay, but everything's got to be huddled under this one little bit, but it's almost finishing. Bloody, I was worried about the bag getting wet and any of the rolling stuff getting wet. But the bag itself actually has under the bottom, that's what's good about this rucksack. You can put it, in fact I'll do that once I'm on the move. Shit, whoops, that's good. Keep fucking done. But bloody keyboard keeps coming up. Hang on. Stupid thing. Back. Keyboard. Off the screen. Delete. How do I get that off? There we go. Keeps taking me. Whoops. There we go. Streamlabs. Back in Streamlabs, right. Okay. I've got to spend some time sitting down with the app and just getting used to it. Right, screen. Yes, as I was trying to show on the bag, there's a thing at the bottom here that comes out, the waterproof thing. That's quite a handy feature. So then when I'm on the move, even if it's raining, then that's going to protect it. I think when the sun comes out, it's quite warm now. He just delayed me a bit, but hopefully this will last until I get to the city. I'll basically keep streaming for as long as the battery lasts. But obviously this thing's going to be a pain now because I don't want to put it in the bag. Obviously the wet umbrella. I have to put that somewhere. So obviously I don't want to get anything wet inside the bag. Check the moisture on there, is there? That's all okay generally. Now, I should have really gone undercover somewhere, but it's all this stuff. And right, let's make a move now. And it should, the plan is to have the battery in the bag, so then even with the cable I can still. It's not the most ideal setup with a bike and the cable charging, but obviously it'd be much easier just having the smartphone on a gimbal or on a mount to do filming. But anyway, I'm just going to put the umbrella away now because I think it's finished. Right. So I'll put the tablet down. Stupid bloke. Very a pain to. Where will I put that? To put it in a carrier bag and have it from the bike, I think. Or can I put it in the water bottle holder? It's got to go to my bike. It's a bit of a pain. I've got a wet umbrella. I'm going to put it in the side of my bag. annoying. There. Perhaps. Around there. Maybe. Yes. That's it. I think I've got the issue where I've got to have this stupid wet umbrella. Obviously, if I was walking along the street, then I'd have it in my hand, but I don't want that in the bag. A bit improvisational, but as long as it keeps it dry. See, there's a lot. Oh, that tortoise. Hang on, that shouldn't be on. On this battery. There we go. Yes, but that's only gone down 3%. So I'll finish this bottle of water. Seagulls now. Right, now let's get the cable. So I better get out from the tree now because it's all blowing all water, the wind blowing the water off the... See, the bench is soaked. But still it's refreshing. At least I'm getting some air. Right, I've got that thing. My pockets are all organised now. Doing a vape, one of those electronic vape things, and then I'll first find the toilet somewhere and then we'll continue the tour. Well, still, this has been only 2 viewers, but then, you know, the annoying thing was it should have the stream should have been unlisted been public from the start, but then that didn't happen until a while in. Anyway, I can have that. I'm going to have that and the cable, and then be on the bike and then have that in my hand. All a bit rudimentary, but what I'm interested to see is the quality. That's one of the main things to see in different parts of the stream, depending on where I am. Right, I've got all that. Got all my... Where's the lighter? Or did I check all my... Where did I take that? Where's that gone? Ah. I'm just looking for my bag. Ah. That's there. Everything. Where's the lighter gone? Annoying. The lighter. There. Finding that. Ah. Got it. Lighter. Everything. Lighter. Right. Lighter. And that now. Got it? Ah, there it is, right. Another thing. Ah, annoying. What's the keef out of that fucking thing? Keef. Annoying. Oh well. Fucking thing. I hope that didn't fall off. No, why did it do that? Keep all in there. Right, make a move now. Bag. Got some leaflets here from last. Whoops. Hang on. Oh. Yes, I actually had some Globe Live leaflets. I had in my bag from last time, but got it creased. I'll show you briefly. These. Had these from last time. There. Right. There. That's it. The Streamlabs keeps. Oh, there we go. Well, the zoom's not. It's not focusing now, is it? It's not focusing. Why isn't it doing that? Now it's not focusing. It's annoying. How do I get it to refocus? Oh, it is focusing now, that's good. It's there. I think that's what you hear with the water. It's messing up the camera, I think. Yeah, because the water got on the camera lens, that's what happens. Oh shit, I don't want to get those wet, whoops. Silly me. Just got to put those in the bag and make sure they're not creased. Right. Hello, I'm here. Got a bloody water in the bag. Okay, I think now. And the dongle thing, that's... Where in the bag is that? Look at that. Data dongle. And I can get a move on. I don't know where it all is. Dongle. Where's that gone? Was that in the pocket? Dongle. Oh, there it is. Right. That's in that pocket. Right. Those bits. Very annoying. Let me just check this. Fucking thing. Oh, so not too bad. I'll get to that. Put that in there. Right. Ready to go now. Drink this bottle of water. I've got a big beard at the moment. That the right way? Oh, that's the correct. It's got to be horizontal, hasn't it? Yes, it's probably maybe the longest beard I've ever had, but then I think it's the case with them. Probably the case with a lot of people. It should last until the city because it's still 11%, so it hasn't actually gone down. I think the signal is quite good here, so then the smart device doesn't have to use as much battery power if there's a stronger signal from the cell tower. That's how I know. When the signal's weaker, then the mobile phone will send out a stronger signal. No, it'll use more battery to send out a stronger signal. Well, it's been through a rainstorm, but a bit annoying. Then my bloody bag got wet, and had to be careful with those. My grinder, annoying though. It's not too bad actually. The bottom came off, and then I thought I'd lost some of my keef. No, because that. After about a week or so, you know, a reasonable amount builds up, but I perhaps maybe lost a day, 2 or 3 days worth. You know, I'll probably have some keep when I get back, you know, at the end of the night, then the sort of last one of the day, or... I was thinking about getting some beer, but I drank the other day, didn't I? I mean, generally, you know, like today, I didn't need to drink at all. Yes, somebody was there with some cans, wasn't he? System failure. For me, it's just the company, you know, and being with people on the right wavelength and who are sane in all this. Although actually, I'm fairly surprised with the lack of masks, you know, in areas like this, you know, because generally in these, I think it's the same in any of the large liberal cities, you know, that they tend to wear them more, and they don't so much in the more, as I was talking about earlier, you know, in like the Midwest American places. Right. Check my pockets. Pockets there. Right, we're good to go now, I think. Well, that data dongle's warm. In fact, yes, I better put that in the bag. It's not good to have the data dongle with my... I had that in my pocket. Yes, I know with one health thing, never keep two... But don't have a smart device on too high power down there, because that can cause cancer, can't it? You know how hot that thing was. That was working away. Where are my coins?
Köper precis laxen, ja?
Right. What's this? Ah, it's a rope. And a lighter. Right. Good to go now. I think I'll probably skin up another one in a bit. We'll do a bit more trawling first. Now, oh, my phone's off. This is about, when you haven't sort of been out and doing these things for a while, this is about getting into the routine and got to make sure I packed my bag early last time, although then wasn't affect all this rain, did I? Right. So, well, this is by far the longest live stream I've ever done. Actually, I don't think I need that now. Really, do I? Get that away. Another feature on the rucksack where you can pull that over. Or should I pull that over? I'll probably do it anyway, just to give the water. Oh no, I can't because of that thing, can I? So I don't want that inside the bag. Stupid umbrella. So I'll have to put that back. It's a good rucksack. Perhaps I could do with a slightly bigger one for days like this if I'm going to be carrying lots of tech. It's strong though, you know. I've had it for 4 years now and I've used it regularly. Needs a bit of a clean. Stuffing the end in there, the bottom of this. Good clean there, the paint or something. But that's in there, so far so good. The rudimentary bike street tour continues. There's going to be all sodden there. That's the annoying thing, you've got that bloody thing there, getting the bag wet, and then you got with the rolling gubbins in there, and then there's flyers, but that's all okay. Right, back on. Right, I need a loo somewhere. I get moving. But that's on. It's all a bit improvised. I've got that there, and then the umbrella on there. But still, that's what, you know, survival skills is about improvising, isn't it? Right, let's see if this, I hope it reaches. Hang on, yes, that's the next thing now. Yes, the cable is, where's the battery? Where's the battery charger? Oh, it's in there. Where's that thing? Where's the cable? Oh, there it is. Right. Make sure there's not enough cable to reach all the way there. The cable's long enough, I think. Is that? I bought about 2 meters. Oh shit! I've unplugged it. Whoops! Hang on, I'm going to plug it in. Whoops! Quickly unplug that back in. That was lucky. Well, it wouldn't run out straight away, but this stupid green thing keeps coming up. Oh, there we go. That comes on the screen. Right. So, there we go. Right, that should now. Because then that one's enough white cable. Got to have the white cable coming out of there, long enough to reach when I'm sat down to the front. Right. Well, that should work now. Need the loo now. Well, let's bring this water bottle and throw it away somewhere. I've not even puffed that much today. I've only had about 3 J's, I think. Considering I've been out now for, well, I'm pretty much talking consistently from 3 o'clock. Well, I've been impressed with myself. I've been able to talk for 1 hour 50 now. But generally, I always have lots to say, but I suppose sometimes in these situations when they're new to you, you might obviously take a bit of time to think what to engage with at first, but you know what I mean, I've, particularly in the last 5 years, lots of bizarre life experiences that produce lots of talking points. Well, reaching down there, I sort of got the... So, hold that again in there. I'm going to find a loo now somewhere, but we'll go down what, you know, the towpath it's called, down the side by the river. What is that? No, it's actually up to 12% now. Well, that's good. Oh, so it's going up, so then I don't have to worry about that. Bike is not too bad, but yes, for anyone who may remember, I fell off my bike in January the 7th, and I bashed my arm there. There's still a bit of a mark there. When I fell off, and then I fell off on a hill near me, and that's what scuffed that seat, and that's by far the worst bike accident I've had in about 8 years. I've never actually crashed into anyone on a bike, you know, I've generally got very good road sense, but I was being silly on a hill and I was a bit drunk, and again some strange synchronous events had happened that night in a pub, and a whole load of things really, particularly, you know, since well actually, as I said, there is the story of when the first ever Globe Live event I went to, came out of my flat and bizarrely got offered this hitchhike pretty much 3/4 of the way. That was so strange, and that had never happened before like that in my entire life. Well, now it's gone down to 11. Yes, I think it depends on the signal really. Perhaps when... Well, actually, the dongle's in my backpack now, isn't it? Yeah. Because the dongle's in my pocket. Maybe when the dongle's nearer the tablet, then it uses less power. But still, I want that in the backpack. That's better there. It's not generally good to have a high-power smart device in a pocket, is it? If it's on a high-intensity mode, like with video streaming. If you can, obviously, with a smart device, use a hands-free or Bluetooth. Anyway, we're on the move now. So that's the city down there. Embankment and all the Houses of Parliament are basically around the corner there. We're sort of, the river bends here, so you can't really see Parliament after a while, because then it goes round an S. Let's get some... I don't need that, do I? Yes, I think that's Tartarian. Sometimes you find around here there's like lots of old warehouses and things that have been converted into expensive apartments and things, but I'm going to close the tablet now so I can't see the chat, but I know that it's in the right... Yes, that's it. If I film horizontally like that, that's it, isn't it? That's the correct way up. That's it, right. So, the tour of London continues. But I don't want to be back too late, because I think the Vinnie Woke show's on at 10:30, so I want to get back in probably ever... Well, certainly I want to get a bit of washing up done and stuff. I'll continue this until we get to the tube station. Yes, I'm now going down the towpath along the river here on the south bank. And yes, this will take me to a place called London Bridge eventually. There's like a station there, and you may have heard of the Shard. You'll see a building called the Shard. That's like that's the tallest building at the moment in London, I think. Been around now for about... Well, I've been up the Shard actually, yes. Yes, in 2015 I went up the top of the Shard. I've got some pictures, videos. But still, I've never done any filming like this before live on YouTube. But also, I've done filming of London, do some cameras and things, but this is all the first time I'm... For the best part of 2 hours now, been doing a live stream, and I think up until early next month, I've got to double check that the mobile networks are all giving 10 gigabytes of data. Although, you know, if it has cost me a bit, then I don't mind, but... Well, yeah, I should be doing more live streams regularly, so then I'll have to look at... ensure that the data tariff is correct. So in the background you can see the city there. I think this is called Blackfriars Bridge coming up now. Those concrete buildings in the background, that's called the Barbican, and then Is that St Paul's Cathedral, I think? In the foreground there, I think. So we're here. These are some offices and very, to me, not very brutalist, ugly, modernist architecture. That's a new block, I think, of flats. We'll have to go. Oh, we can go see this side of the river, and then you've got Shakespeare Globe Theatre. So perhaps we'll go. What I will do, I think I'll go to London Bridge, and then I'll come back over the river, and then back to the city, and then St Paul's, perhaps. See what the battery is now. Well, it's saying it's lower bit rate, so I think perhaps it's a bit. Well, I'll leave it at. Well, it says 720p, so that should be fairly. But then it's saying about the bit rate. There's all these messages of. There's all these things on the app that I've got to just check. So I think then are they messages meaning that the quality can be higher, or there's a problem with the. See, there are lots of tourists around now. Well, that's actually good to see some tourists, unless they were tourists starting to spend some bizarre. Oh, yeah. There's a train coming in. These are trains going into. Yes, I think they. Oh, if they go into that's Blackfriars Station, isn't it? Yes, I think. And those are trains going into like South London. Well, that's not the London Underground. That's what you call British Rail. But it's called, it was privatised. I still call it British Rail. Yeah, basically regular mainline trains, not the Underground going through central London. The British Rail. We know that they all sort of finish on the edge of the city, and then you've got like Paddington Station and Marylebone, where you then change from British Rail onto the Underground to get into, say, these parts, or Hyde Park. Yes, this is the Tate Modern. Oh, this is called the Millennium Bridge. This is yes, we might actually go back across here. This would be a good point to go back across the river. This is the Tate Modern Gallery. And whether it was built in 1600 or before, it's obviously pre-reset buildings. We'll get some good views up here. Oh, someone playing a harp, yes. It was built for the millennium. Or some other railway bridge. So this is basically a walking bridge that takes you over from Bankside back into St Paul. And yes, and actually, technically now we're going into the City of London, so where the Queen are not. So we're about to enter the City of London itself. So right into the heart of the beast, they say. Something there. We're having a discussion about that recently in chakra symbolism. Now coming to stormy at sea, to the seagulls are inland. You're going to find lots of them. That was originally the actual the area of London, and obviously then that became a separate entity at some point, or has always been. Well, I need to find the P somewhere, so be another good place to stop off somewhere and maybe roll another mask wearer. Oh, the battery now says 14%. It's strange, it keeps going up and down. I guess it depends on how far from the cell tower. With all the BLM nonsense. Well, they're still in. This is some war statue. It looks like iron. Pretty hard to knock that down, I guess. Anyway, the ones who got hurt by that served them right. You know, history is full of lies, but you've got to know some of the... I think it's absolutely important to find the correct history. Well, this is part of that school I was talking about, I think. It's an independent school. Yes, you know, oh yes, over there, the City of London sign, so we'll... Oh, I can put the bike up. Oh, yeah. I couldn't see those. I thought I had to take the bike up the steps. But we'll cycle up there, and there's a map, and then I'll need to go for P somewhere, and then I'll roll another. Right. So we'll go up here. As you can see, you've sort of got lots of old buildings around here, and then there's some one or two modern ones, but this is now in the City of London. The City of London is very small. It goes from about, basically, it only goes I'd say from where that building is over there, that tall, what's that building? You know, roughly from over there to maybe like half a mile down there, and that's the City of London basically. It's very small. With the stream still going, isn't it? I think. Should be. Yeah. For some reason I can't chat at all. But it's very small, you know, where I'm there. I said, you know, you go up to about there. Fleet Street, you know, where all the newspapers used to be, roughly to about, basically, you know, you see those buildings in the distance, you know, maybe perhaps like another 300 or 400 yards beyond that, that's the whole city, basically, and then I can north by about maybe, what's a mile now? No, 1,000 yards maybe? No, it's very small, like the size of the Vatican State or something, roughly. Perhaps it's a similar size to that. And now I want to find somewhere I can go to a loo somewhere. But that's a good thing with a bike, you know, then I can get to the side streets quicker. Get on back on the train pleasingly soon so I can get back and... Yes, this is the front of the cathedral. Perhaps I can find a pub open somewhere, or a restaurant. There's a toilet. Let's go in this street. These statues there. I don't think in England none of the churches have been open at the moment. But the first thing I need to do is to have a device where I can obviously see when I'm filming. At the moment I keep having to close the case screen, and then obviously then I can't see the actual view when I'm riding. That's all in line. So we'll go around there. Well, very English weather today. Just the sun has been out. Maybe perhaps it is a bit more fitting that we're back to the usual English weather now that well, it's all a hoax anyway. But you know, the so-called thing is passing. Well, this new normal is absolute rubbish, but at least people are trying to get back to normal, but you know what? I know some have a very disturbed view of what normal should be, because certainly wearing a mask isn't normal. Yes, this is around the back of St Paul's now. Well, they've been doing a lot of building work. I think they're doing renovation work here, by the looks of it. Hopefully you can see how the camera looks again. Yes, that's. When I keep having to close the case, then obviously it's trying to work out where the camera's looking, but I seem to have worked that out okay now. So. Yeah, nice, all lovely architecture there. See, that's a building, not this modern trash. I think that's fairly modern, but built in a sort of made to look older. That's obviously mud flood, I think. Yes, that was it. In 2017, my youngest nephew was christened here because my sister-in-law, her father was an MBE. This is my eldest brother's wife. He was an MBE in the steel industry, and then that enabled him to actually have a christening here in the chapels. And I've got some pictures about that, and that had interesting numerology. So there's a little story. I came in here for my. Well, the thing is, at the time he was about nine or 10. This is my youngest nephew, born in 2000. No, second youngest nephew, born in 2007. And he had a christening in here, and I've got pictures of that. And that was like on a 22-day numerology. That was September 2017. But having a christening in the crypt of St Paul's was obviously interesting, because he was able to do that because obviously of being in the MBE. So it gives you certain privileges to be able to use the facilities here. But at the moment, it's all being renovated. But basically, it was in the. Basically, we came round to the side of the cathedral here, the side of the cathedral, then we went in a door, and it's called the crypt, basically. I think it's probably open to the public, when it's open as normal for tourism. Now the battery says 15%, so it's gone up. Right. Here, we'll continue on now. Hopefully you can see that. Well, this will be interesting to watch back. 2 hours tour. See how that looks again. Yes, I think they're doing renovation work on the tower up there. Yeah, but that's what Martin legally calls, the Technasmia domes, isn't it? When you've got the so you can't quite see it up there through the trees. You've got the dome up there, and that's what obviously they say that harnessed the electricity back in Tartaria, pre-reset or whatever. Well, even up to 100, maybe even only 100 years ago, 120 years ago. Oh, there's another underground station. Well, I'll go on for a bit longer, but I'm getting quite tired. Once I head back on the tube, obviously, I'll have to. Because it'll be underground then, you won't be able to get a signal, but. What's this station? We're now. I'll go on the city for some more now. I'll show you around some parts of the city. Yes, that's the London Underground, so Londonground is going past the London Underground. Oh yes, that's St Paul's station on the Central line. Yeah, St Paul's, the area. Barbican. Yes, actually, if I head this way, I can get back to the Metropolitan line, can't I? Where I live is actually quite interesting, because although I don't live in London, I actually live out in Buckinghamshire, but then there's a quirk of the system in the fact that the Metropolitan line comes out all the way to my town, although it's actually outside of London on British Rail, but then an hour sometimes to get to Baker Street. I was thinking of going to the city, but I'm getting a bit tired, and I'm now coming through to the Barbican. In between now and the next kind of official, really woke speakers corner. They're just meeting up and I think to do some other filming. I think and interviews to do with numbers. This will be done again. I'll probably bring my bike next time. That makes it easier. On Museum later, we're coming to the you know, obviously, I'm personally not a fan of modernist architecture, but I know that the Barbican is considered a well-known piece of modernist architecture, you know, because of what they call brutalist architecture in the 1960s. And then, not too far from here, I can then get back to the station I need to, obviously, then to get back on the my train line. Although actually, I can probably it depends on if I can get a signal down there, or whether I can continue streaming. Although I thought, once I get there, I'll be for 2 hours now. Well, the main thing I want to see is how much data it uses, battery power. I hope that I'm still in my data allowance. I've got to check that straight away after I... Yes, there's the Barbican. That's one of the... They were actually built originally as council flats, I think. But then, obviously particularly because of the location, then over time that they've been acquired by what's called right to buy. And then if you're buying one on the private market, you know, I think they're quite expensive. But it's built in about the 60s, I think. Obviously at the time it was very tall. You see this area, it's mostly sort of more modern office buildings. I think a lot of this area would have been that sort of 1960s. Yes, I think quite a lot of this area in the wall got bombed. Yeah, that's why you have all these... I think that's why the Barbican was built. After the... You know, I think particularly the East End, you know, if you know about the Blitz during the war. Although, you know, when you look at the history of World War II, it's all the same source at the end of it anyway. There's Barbican Station, here we go, so I'm going to try and find a toilet now, somewhere. And then I'll find a toilet and just probably skin one more, and then basically that's my station to get back on the underground, actually, you know, for my line. The good thing about the My Train line is it's not one of these deep lines, like the Central line or the other, where they go really far underground and you're on the small train. At least on that line, you've got the air conditioning on those trains, so even if it's hot, it's a lot more pleasant, you know, than going on the line that, let's say, goes to Oxford Circus. Right, Nana's going to try and find somewhere to go side street to. This is an area called Clerkenwell, I think. This is basically in between what's called the city and Islington. In fact, I suppose I could do a cut through to King's Cross, but I'm going to find... Well, perhaps I can go for a pee here. Oh, Charterhouse Street. Oh, I think we're near Farringdon. Must be near Fabric Nightclub. Oh, I don't think I've even been in this little park before. I think London is a big place. See, now I'm back to more mudflood buildings. I think I've been here before. I know someone I think they used to live around here. And I think it's another school at the back of one. These are obviously mudflood buildings, right there. I think that's classic mudflood. All I want to do is go. I can go here. Get off here and go in there. Looks like some little mini park, but I think Charterhouse, we must be near Charterhouse Street, are we? Yes, I think we are. Right. I'm just going to go in here. There's a nice London plane tree. Right, okay. Right. Because after this, I think I'll get on the train. I'll probably cut the stream there then. And then anyway, thanks for watching though. We're doing them for a bit longer. We're gonna back to the station, but I've not quite got to the whole of the city. But I think we've had a pretty comprehensive tour. Well, it's all still working, isn't it? It's 2 hours 20. Well, that's a good time. 22 in there. See, what I like is interesting. So you really come around a street like this, you know, looking at the like numerology on houses and buildings and things. And like I know there's some parts of London where I think it's some embassy somewhere. There's like number 33, and there's like an intelligence office that's number 33 somewhere else in one of these squares. Like Julian Assange, when he was in that embassy, that was like number 3 something squared 3C. There was like 2 3s in that. I think that's the back of some other independent school, because I remember actually somebody I got to know years ago. They lived there for a while because they had what's it now? They had some kind of job. Their parents had some job there, and obviously they were living in the caretaker's accommodation or something along those lines. I think that's Smithfield Market down there actually, but I suppose we could go. Yes, perhaps we'll go back to King's Cross then, and then we'll. Yes, I'll do that. I'll go up Farringdon Road, and then I'll get in at King's Cross, and then call it a day there. Then we're nearly at 2:22, so I don't want to get back. Well, it's been good for me to get the air. I wanted to get a bit of air. Mudflood buildings, I'd say. Well, it was interesting, you know, some of them I noticed though that I think they do look like they've been built at that level, or then sometimes, you know, it depends on how far from the reset or the event, how far the ground has risen. But some buildings, you know, it's very easy to tell that when you've got the clearly half-height windows, but obviously some others, it may be that like a whole floor is buried, and then sometimes it's harder to tell, but I think this is the market. They have like a fruit and veg market here, don't they? I think every week, every day. I know you've got Billingsgate for fish. This is Charterhouse Street, isn't it? This is Farringdon. I think you can get British Rail and I know my line goes in there, but I'm basically going to ride down a road which sort of follows my line up to the next stop. Then King's Cross. That's on the Monopoly board. That's like a main station where you can get a train up north. Or not that I'm a fan of trains at all, but I know that it's on the Monopoly board. Drive. Oh, particularly Hyde Park. I know that my parents used to park around there by the Serpentine. Yeah. In the 80s, they changed the times, unreliable. And they're very slow anyway, you know, it takes a good... Once you're on the train here, then even from there it takes an hour to get back to the end of the line, into my station. And then you've obviously got to go down the hill, obviously with help. Well, I'll get to King's Cross, there's a little park and I'll roll one more, and then I'll get back on the train then. But I'm basically now going down Farringdon Road, so that railway, there's a railway line that sort of follows this, I think. You've also got an area called Islington that's not far from here. That's where I met my ex-girlfriend in Islington, in a pub called the Mitre that's now an estate agent. Hampstead Heath. Still, I've done about 2.5 hours of continually commentary and filming, and only had one J in that time. Good that I've got those disc brakes. Some Chinese food. I'm hungry today. I still can't see any pubs open, really. Right. Oh, yeah. Well, good I bought the bike today then, 'cause I was thinking of not bringing the bike at first, because I was thinking of bringing just walking there, but it does save a lot of time. I must think of the freedom to do these things. That's the right way up. Yes, we're coming back towards King's Cross now, I think. Trying to work out what. Even I'm a bit lost actually, but you can see lots and lots of mud flood buildings around here. This is actually a bit hilly here. It's a little bit of a hill. Those are very. King's Cross Road. Here we go. Yeah, because up there, actually, Islington itself is actually on a bit of a hill, because then I think from there you've got what's called the into the city. Yes, King's Cross of Hogwarts, of course. In fact, I'll show you. That's a good place to go to, actually. The platform 9 3/4 of Harry Potter. Not that I'm a Harry Potter fan particularly. I always preferred Lord of the Rings type fantasy. But King's Cross is where they platform 9 3/4. I can't remember the exact story, but I know it's a big part of the books. Not that I've read the books, but this is getting starting to get more residential now. But you can see here, these are definitely mud flood houses. Classic basements. Well, obviously they weren't basements originally, but obviously now post reset. You can smell hydrangeas or something strong. I'll look on the road actually, it's easier, isn't it? Still people on? Yep. Because I'm looking to see my friend in France, but at the moment it looks like flying might be a hassle with not being able to have on the north of England. But also then you've got the Eurostar. Look at any Underground, Globe Light, Tartarium. One of the finest. Or knocked down because sadly there was a station called Euston that happened to. But St Pancras has now been worked on a lot past this wall, you'll see. Very clearly mud flood. In fact, it's good being on the bike, being able to get close to this and show you in detail. But clearly, like here for example, well, I don't know whether this embankment here was added, but obviously you can clearly see there are windows going below the street. It was built to look like, what do you call it, is it Gothic, neo-Gothic? Obviously when it was built exactly we're not sure, but obviously it says 1873. But you can clearly see there, the half filled in windows and basically now the basement. Perhaps that's why I came this way subconsciously, because that's a very good example of the Tartaria topic. Ah, nice Bentley. Debate them in for 2 minutes. Piece of piss. Yes, I'm just thinking back earlier to when those globies, I'm not sure if I recorded it. I think Roxanne might have, or something, going back maybe a year or two, about the age of King's Cross, where the dealing with them, to me, was... I thought the level of things, I'm also fairly new to the whole meeting for a year or two, or fairly veteran. Now I'm just going to find nightclubs around the back of King's Cross, the Key and the Bagleys, but they've all gone now. It's all changed a lot now. Building. Certainly of that age. Made better. Of that era as well. Of a mudflood building you can find somewhere, and then they've now made it so that you can actually get around here. Yes, this, I wanted to see my school friend in France for a while now, but was going to... Ideally, I want to be driving down. I just want a nice holiday. But even my school friend is now saying about, oh, you've got to wear a mask and all that. I just want to go there and get away from all that. So, having a bit of a lecture there last night. No, he should know better than that. He's not silly. just coming up here now to find a spot to roll one. Oh yes, Camley Street Natural Park. I used to know some. In fact, the girl I bought the laptop off, I'm using now, she had I think she did some voluntary work around here. It was very nice actually, this Camley Street Park, if it's open. Well, there's a bit of a building on it on its own there. That looks. Well, it's a railway viaduct, isn't it? Yes, this area is all railway tracks. So there's lots of sort of old buildings in between. But this should take me to the what is called Regent's Canal, so I can sit there and have one. I think it's up here. I want to get to the Regent's Canal. I think it's up here. Oh, this is the main line out of King's Cross, I think. Freight train, I think. Oh no, that's St Pancras, I think. Some railway line. Rest here for a bit. But I'm just trying to find up here there's a canal where I can just sit down and then have one more and then head back. Noisy, whatever that thing is. But so that's going north to like Leicester somewhere, I think. Or Sheffield, yes, I went to Sheffield once. Because a friend did some work up there for someone. Oh, there's the canal. Yes, this is it. This is called the Regent's Canal. I thought we're here. And then perhaps from here we might even go to Camden. But I don't want to be too much longer because although it's 8:30, I have to get back. I haven't got my bike lights either, so yes, I can't be too late. How do we get down here? Take my bike. Right, well, we'll go down here for a bit. I have to take my I just want to find somewhere now for quite secluded so I can roll one then. And the canal's basically this is a canal that runs from. It goes to West London, then it comes through North London, and then it goes through to East London and then into the Thames. This is called the Regent's Canal, then it joins what's called the Grand Union Canal. And actually then it comes out sort of my way. Well, I used to live in Uxbridge. That was on the Grand Union Canal. Then if you follow that, you sort of takes you into London eventually. It's basically before the rail, well obviously in true history, but nevertheless, the canals were obviously built originally for freight, and this is obviously the legacy. You've got the narrow boats, obviously for these days it's more of a pleasure thing, but I know that they are doing a bit of freight on canals again now for stuff like coal and gravel. Still, they've had some more variation to the trip. Central London, and now you've sort of got the north. So this is still kind of central, but you're sort of getting out of the centre a bit now, a bit north. Coming towards Camden Town. That's what you call the Bohemian area, I suppose they call it. You're known for its unusual, although not so much these days even. Even that's got a bit bland. You used to have like really unusual clothes shops, but even now I know that they've introduced things, and some of the stores there that were selling stuff can't now sell what they used to. So once we find a bench along here somewhere, then I'll sit down for a bit. You see, because we're by the canal and it's sort of central-ish London, then anywhere where the water normally gets a high tide, so it's always a popular place. I haven't been along here for a while, since about a year ago. It's all a nice change for me to come out today. Just some return back to normality. Careful of very low. I'm 6'3", so I've got to be careful of that. These are all Tartarian bricks, you know, you can see all the... Anywhere you see like railway cuttings and canal cuttings, you've always got those very typical bricks, as you see. And even windows there, you know, that suggest, you know, maybe perhaps were the canals even a creator of some reset? Who knows, you know? So much we don't know. But like all along here, that's definitely Tartarian type bricks. Just like you see on some of the on that line. Not far from Camden now. Bit crowded here at the moment. I'll stop there. Wait for them to pass and there's more room then. It's still streaming, isn't it? Yeah. There's traffic on pavement today. Well, the towpath. This is the towpath. That's called when you got to pass along the canal. Oh, this is the lock. Oh, Kentish Town. Yeah. We're in Camden. This is the canal lock. You're getting a good variety of London scenery. It smells something. Puffing. So this would be a good stop to spot. A stop to spot to have a puff. Because then after this I'll go back to, I can even go back to maybe, I might go to Regent's Park, but I don't want to be too much longer now, because obviously I want to get back and have what bike lights. we'll stop there. Anyway, I'm gonna roll one now, so. Shit. Cable stuck. Shit. Right. Right. You've got a view that, I'll put the view by the bottle, there we go. Got a view of the canal. There. Oh yes, I can lean it against the bottle, that's quite, yeah, that's a good idea. Stop cap. Can lean that against the bottle so that it's a, holds it up. Trying to find my stuff now. There. Oh, 28%. Well, yeah, can't be too much longer because my battery will go soon. It'll last enough to have another one and then to wind it down. Shit. Wind it down. I'm gonna find the bloody thing now. Ah, is that it? Ah, there. 3-roll next time, definitely. Right. Fuck on the key. Tobacco. Ah. Oh, there. Right.
When you gonna do this? So you're going back before 8 tomorrow? 8.
It's still on, isn't it? Still on, I think. I think it's still on.
Ah, that's boosted. That is after boosted. No, because this is an exam that they
Right, I want to get back before half. What time is it now? Yeah, I want to. 8:57, right.
Yeah, can't wait. I'm on my way.
Whoa, man.
I'm going anyway.
Mate, we can make 14. We can definitely do 15. I don't know,
Oh.
man, because I had some beers, man. I'm not 100%, so I go home.
I think round here, quite a lot of people puff anyway. It's quite a safe area to puff around here because Camden, you know, if you're in London, Camden's like the sort of notorious place that you go to, you know, to just, if you just want to randomly buy, well, it'll be crap quality. You know. Oh, coin. I had a rope somewhere. There it is.
Oh, no, man. I made it here. I saw one of the same
Wind. It's still rolling. Shit. Fucking hell. Fucking thing. Pick it up and bloody... Fucking awkward when you got a... wind. Wasn't the bloody wind blowing? It's much easier. Annoying. Fucking wind. Right, I'll bit that and then put it in. Gotta fucking take that out and then put that in. Bloody thing. It's not the easiest to roll, it's windy like this. fucking spilt it in the fucking grinder there. Gotta put that into a bag. I'll put it in there for now. Collect it later. Spilt. Put it in there. Got to be more organised in the pre-rolling. Yeah, generally, YouTube streaming is quite, or particularly Globe Live stuff when you're involved in sort of debates as well. When you're trying a live stream, it's quite involved, isn't it? You've got a lot of things to focus on, and that's done now. And I lost a bit of my key. Right, well that's done. So we'll have this, and then we're going to head back to the station, then I'll cut the stream then. Light and night. Right. There she goes. Oh, there she is. There we go. Put the. It's actually not a bad. I'm only leaning it against that water. I'm just leaning against the water bottle here. It's actually not a bad vista. Down the canal there. It's been interesting to watch back. Just hope it doesn't cost my data loads. Right, let's smoke this baby. Oh, lost a bit of key, but then I'm having a good day out, so it's always a give and take. Still, I've given that's probably about the most I've ever used that. I only bought that power pack. I bought that power pack back in about February. I think then I came to the February Globe Live, but then nobody turned up. That was February the 2nd, I think it was. February the 2nd.
Excuse me, sir. If you don't mind, do you do any regular partner long one?
Oh, I can give you one, yeah.
If you don't mind, I'm so sorry.
One of those, yeah.
Yes, you are survived. Where are him, brother?
On? I think at least people have been a bit more laid. It's all about the most laid back I've seen people in London, obviously, since March. Yeah, everything's a bit more. Even in May, the weather was nice, but there was still that bit of tension. I think, hopefully, as people more and more, even the average Sleeping Joe blogs on the street realises it's bullshit, then that'll then make the atmosphere and although we are all individual, I'm very much an individualist, not a communist. There is if everyone is also on a funny vibration, that is going to affect energy overall anyway. So overall, the energy is, the weather's obviously a bit hit and miss, but then again, that's for England, isn't it? It looks quite nice there with the things that are sitting it there by the canal, randomly with improvising with the water bottle. It makes not a bad view. That's what I've got to stop being so obsessive in that. I can get OCD in that way, because I'm thinking, I lost a bit of Keith, that's about 2 or 3 days. But then, I'm going to make money anyway after this. The next thing now is to really get back on these bets. But what's happening now, I was hoping to have been happening, from, like when I came here in March, and what Sam was saying. And that was like the most people there in the 2 years. And then, from one extreme to the other. Then the next 2 weeks later, obviously that's only the second time I'd be there, but obviously for the regulars, then they say that was the most empty it had been in the 2 years, and whereas the 2 weeks before, it was the the busiest with the most females there within 2 years. And my life just seemed to be a bit strange in that way, where then by the time I sort of get round to doing something, or getting involved in something, then all these other strange events can happen. He was a friend indeed. Still two. So I've not seen anyone type in chat. I'm gathering there's people are still watching. It was by far the longest stream I've ever done by a country mile. Yes, I was saying, you know, the battery pack, that's down to 28% now, or a bit less than that. That's by far the most I've ever given that a use. Good, I bought all that in the expectation that then, although obviously I knew the lockdown was in other places, but I don't think anyone thought the stupidity would be going on this long. But still, at least, you know, now they've done it, we know how fake it all is. You know, we know that pandemic's sort of pie in the sky. I hope this is still streaming. Then over the last hour or two, it's been saying about this funny error, and then I tried to chat and I couldn't. The request is missing a valid API key. I just hope it's still streaming, just for my own. That's good. Ten past 9 now. I think I've already cut the stream here actually, and just going to my back actually. Go off with this joint, I'm just going to cut it. I want to get back to the station quickly. Plus, you know, the sun's going down anyway, but 3 hours is pretty good. So once I finish her, it's getting a bit late. I want to get back by 10:30 now. I think it's when the Willy Woke show is it? Was it 9:30? Although I can still obviously watch it on the journey, at least I know, at least want to get above ground in time as well. So I've basically got to head over that way and then sort of like another, but either back to King's Cross or what's called Euston. But obviously I want my hands free now, and plus, you know, it's getting dark and I haven't got my bike lights either. So those who may remember, I was talking about on the Discords or back on some of the low live streams when I fell off my bike and that scuff and that on the saddle there, the legacy and the mark on my arm there. Still, it's not really a scar, but I bashed the bone there, and that hurt for a while. Never actually hit anyone. I've never actually hit anyone on a bike. I'm all very good sense of others, but obviously because I don't want to get injured. But I was going down a steep hill near coming down into my town, and then I was a bit drunk, and then I was trying to film, that was it. And that reminds me, actually, I'm going to find that video of when I fell off the bike and put that on YouTube or somewhere. I'm going to hear a train. Oh, I'm going to hear a train again over there. Was it your canal and road? I'm not seeing. I know that some canals are being used for freight. Well, if I had a mount, I could even puff and ride, but puff, ride and film, that'd be a challenge, wouldn't it? So. But still, this is the ultimate proof. everyone who goes to Speaker's Corner, you know, if they can do a stream, you get as much as you can out there. Really, this is more a test thing, but I want to grow the channel, but I suppose the numbers brought me to Twitter more, and then I think this YouTube account was created on the 20th of November 2006, long time ago, 14 years, but then I suppose I first uploaded a YouTube video probably about 10 years ago, but then obviously only doing streams really in, well, the last couple of months. Well, no, really the last month, but I think I was going to at Speaker's Corner the first time, but then I don't think I had my dongle, my smartphone had just gone wrong. But still, it's possible, so you all know how to get past the YouTube 1,000, less than 1,000 subscribers thing. I learned that they used to be enabled, then they disabled it, but I think for the LFS protest, that's why they changed it, didn't they? It just shows how sneaky they are. Once I've done this, I'll call it a day, and then I was 14. Well, I've been pretty much talking constantly since 3 p.m. 3 hours with all the others, and then 3 hours on the stream. So, and I was saying, wasn't I, about the CBD oil? I actually took some just now. Obviously, I've put it in my bag now, but I took some of that, and that was fundamental in getting me through my mother's loss and all that. And I was telling Roxanne about, and the others, you know, when I'd won the bet on Trump, and then only 2 weeks later my mother fell ill. The biggest win of my life to the worst moment of my life. Strange. Even though it's a monkey year. And I'm the monkey, but she's the tiger. The enemy signs thing. And that was sadly, a very clear example. Not that my mother is the enemy, I'm just talking about the opposite energies. I'll show you plenty of examples of what happens in enemy years, i.e. they're trying to get Joe Biden, a horse, elected in a rat year. Minnesota is a horse year state. George Floyd, the hoax happened in Minnesota, found it in a horse year, in a rat year. Pretty sure that's either Soros or China, whoever, they're using metaphysical Chinese astrology and numerology. George Floyd, East 38th Street, E5, 38, 3 plus 8 is 11, 11, 5. Start getting into that. I think the 911 has the 11.5, but I won't go into that too much now, but see, when I need to get my laptop upgraded. It's way too slow for me to do I can try some streams, you know, if I'm showing desktop and I'm running OBS or any of the other streaming software. You know, even just to go on a Skype call, it slows down a lot. Obviously, I've been using Skype again more recently because of Globalize and FE stuff. And I've got that open more. Yeah, I better make a move, it's starting to rain. Well, that's been a good stream. I'll finish with the yellow bag thing over my bag. In fact, I better get under cover if I can. You go up there. Quickly. Actually. Go up here.
Yeah, I know. I want to run out.
Shall we join? Sorry. We're going up in B.
Well, that's lucky I found this alcove.
Yeah. Sorry, man. Yeah.
Dammi.
rounds.
Devo reggere? Io ho messo immondizia.
Uno solo?
Tengo io.
Cazzo frecco, dove ho la tua borsa?
I can get one extra Rizla.
Could you hold?
One I left the wolves. You don't mind.
Hang on. Could you hold that?
Yeah, I won't.
Hang on.
Questo è tuo.
Hang on. Got it here. Gotta keep it dry because
I've got a link on in my hand, and I've got less.
Faccio filosofia, sei un gruppo.
Lucky I stopped here.
Chiedo per educazione, io chiedo per
Non voglio
educazione.
dare il risultato.
Esatto.
You blazing well,
Però
yeah.
cosa bella qua te la portano a casa. Bellissima, te la portano a casa. Io c'ho lo spaccino e me la porto.
Euston's not far from here, is it?
Che te la porto a casa.
Euston?
Bellissima.
Yeah. I want to get to the Met line.
Well, you're riding a bike now?
Pardon?
Are you riding a bike?
I've got a bike there, yeah.
Yeah, you can ride it. No, it's very
Well,
hard.
I was trying to.
No.
Well, it stopped for a while, then I stopped here, and then it started again. It pissed down with rain earlier. I was down at Bankside, and then I came up here. I was like doing recording some videos and doing some like shooting and stuff,
Solo
and then
fumo e
started
trovi
again.
il copertone, non trovi niente.
Ma vuoi il fazzoletto per gli occhiali?
No, non ti preoccupare,
Vedo
sono
tutto
abituato.
appannato.
Ma tu, io con la mascherina.
Sto a morire in questo periodo. Questo periodo. Non mi sfottere. Questo periodo. Ci do un calcio e faccio del male. Sono forte.
Ah?
Stai attento perché sono forte sul serio.
Ah sì?
Faccio del male.
Farti marziali.
La proprio però.
Camden. We're in Camden, aren't we?
Choi quando si chiama.
Yeah.
È una
Ok.
versione
So Camden
nuova di
Camden High Street's up there, isn't it?
Ok.
perché sono edgy, capito? Faccio tutte cose nuove io.
Ok.
Yeah,
Devo
yeah.
stare sempre al passo.
Yeah.
Però Samena,
Essere.
Sammena, ok.
Allora,
You local
ragazzi,
then?
Non fate incazzare Francesco.
You local?
esatto, numero uno.
Yeah, I live in
Non
Rhodes.
sono
Questo in
sciolta.
generale, senza anche arti marziali. in
Just 2
generale.
minutes walk.
Oh, I see, yeah.
No, però serve.
I just come down to see some friends today from Amersham. So
Almeno se qualcuno
Amersham.
t'attacca.
Amersham, do you know Amersham?
Sì.
Yeah,
I used to live in Uxbridge. You know, I've lived in
non
North.
piacciono
Yeah.
West London.
la lotta
Yeah,
non
I
piace.
lived there. And
Io
I
preferirei
Where you born?
was born in High
Sì, no, ma in generale non
Wycombe,
mi piace neanche la bossa.
and I grew up in Cheltenham
uguale.
Peter, which is serving for a year.
I film con la violenza, non riesco a guardare le scene di violenza.
Ma
Non
è
riesco
bella
a guardare
le-
gli occhi di un uomo che
Did you go up around here then,
non
or?
ce la faccio,
Yes.
anche se
Oh, I
è
see, yeah,
finta.
yeah.
Non posso guardare un uomo morire così tranquillamente.
Sì.
I've got a brother who lives he lives down by BT Tower.
Se
Got a
sei
flat
una
there.
donna ti senti
Where?
vulnerabile.
BT, do you know BT Tower?
Oh, yeah.
They're sort of down towards,
Liscio sotto, non lo
yeah, the
dico.
top
No,
Court
no, no,
Road.
per carità.
Quite
ci
central
sta.
there.
Gli uomini da verso il video, spavento. Dico che cazzo mi fanno la festa adesso, si
Sì.
divertono del bene.
No, da donna è diversa, anche psicologicamente è completamente diverso. Da uomo dicono, io in 26 anni non so, non fai mai
Any
cosa
pubs
mai
open yet
visto.
round here or bars or?
20
No.
Una volta sono
I think have they been open over the weekend?
coinvolto
I'm still
in una
lockdown,
rivista
yeah.
per un mio
Ma la
amico.
prima sarà con me allora.
Sì, probabilmente.
It must be costing them business, isn't it? You know?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot of business.
Però no, penso
Look
le...
at Camden on a Sunday is normally